April 26, 1986, 1:23 a.m. A deafening explosion shattered the silence over Pripyat. In the heart of the Soviet Union, Reactor 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant erupted into chaos. Flames painted the night sky, and within seconds a deadly invisible enemy was unleashed. But what if I told you the explosion was just the beginning? That the truth behind Chernobyl was buried deeper than radiation? A disaster, yes. But was it just an accident? Or was there something more sinister at play? This is the story they never wanted you to hear. Inside the control room, panic spread like wildfire. Red warning lights flashed, alarms screamed, and yet the men in charge hesitated. The reactor was unstable, they knew it, but orders were orders. The test had to continue. Then, boom! A force so powerful it blew off a 1,000-ton steel lid, exposing the core. Radiation levels surged to lethal limits. But here's the terrifying part. No one truly understood what they were dealing with. Firefighters arrived within minutes, unaware they were running straight into death itself. They touched the burning graphite, unaware that it was nuclear fuel scattered across the roof. Their skin burned instantly, their organs already failing. And yet, the Soviet Union remained silent. Chernobyl wasn't just a disaster, it was a tightly controlled secret. As the flames raged, Soviet officials scrambled not to save lives, but to save their image. Pripyat, the city just 3 kilometers away, was still asleep. No evacuation orders, no warnings. Children played outside, workers reported for duty. They were breathing in death with every passing second. Then came the lie. The situation is under control, Soviet officials assured the world. But in reality, radiation levels were 400 times higher than Hiroshima. Birds dropped dead mid-flight. The sky itself seemed poisoned. By the time they finally ordered an evacuation, 36 hours later, it was too late. But the nightmare was only beginning. Years later, declassified documents hinted at something even more disturbing. Chernobyl's Reactor 4 wasn't just a power source, it was a ticking time bomb of classified research. Was it simply human error? Or was something being tested that night? Some believe the explosion was connected to a covert Soviet project, an attempt to create a new kind of weapon. And then, there was the Duga radar. Just 10 kilometers from the reactor stood the massive Russian Woodpecker, a secret Soviet transmission station. Some claim its mysterious radio signals interfered with the reactor's systems. Coincidence? Or something far more chilling? To this day, no one truly knows what was being tested in Reactor 4. But one thing is certain, whatever it was powerful enough to tear apart a nuclear plant. In the aftermath, key figures disappeared. Scientists who questioned the official narrative were silenced. Reports were altered. The true radiation levels, never fully disclosed. Even the death toll remains a mystery. Officially, only 31 people died, but unofficial estimates, over 200,000. And those who survived? Many spoke of seeing something unnatural that night. Shadows moving through the ruins, eyes watching from the reactor's depths. Some call it paranoia. Others, proof that Chernobyl unleashed something beyond radiation. Decades later, Chernobyl remains frozen in time. The buildings stand empty, the Ferris wheel rusting, the streets eerily silent. But here's the scariest part. Reactor 4 is still there, sealed under a massive steel structure. And beneath it, the elephant's foot, one of the most radioactive objects on Earth. If it ever becomes unstable again, Chernobyl may not be the last disaster, because history has a terrifying habit of repeating itself. So the question remains, was Chernobyl truly an accident, Or was it something else entirely?